So this is where we start to teach the dog to accept, to see the dummy or the ball thrown and to make sure he's focused on it. And then we're going to say to the dog, well done, you've done that, but now I'm going to turn you away. And so what we call locking off and accepting that he isn't going to go after the retrieve immediately. So all we do is same principle, we're going to throw the dummy out, we're going to make sure he's locked on. Then I'm going to turn him away after a couple of seconds of looking at the tennis ball or the dummy, and I'm going to walk him away a good 5 yards and then coming back. And then what I'm doing is I'm waiting for him to re-lock onto the dummy before I release him. So this is really where your steadiness comes in as well, because he's going to accept the fact that he's not going to get the dummy straight away. So he's getting praise while I turn him away, as long as he's following me up my heel work. Okay, so I'm just going to set this up. So we're turning him around, throwing the dummy out, letting him see it. Then I'm going to say heel and turn away. So you need to have done your heel work by now. I'm going to walk away 5 yards. I'm going to walk back to the same spot where he marked it. Let him re-lock onto the dummy. So I'm going to make sure again that I'm in the right position, so he's only ever going to get a retrieve as long as he's in the right position, slightly ahead of me. So I'm going to move my feet forward. So I'm going to be consistent with this as well. He's looking at the dummy, he's a little bit praise. Good boy. Good boy. And then I'm just going to send him on his name. Virgil. Again, let him take the lead out of my hand. So he's got the dummy. Good boy. Same thing, young dog. I'm not going to go straight after that dummy. I'm just going to give him a little bit of praise. I'm not going to try and get it off him. He's just earned that. Dead. Good boy. So you could see what we're doing there is we're conditioning him to seeing a dummy thrown. We're going to condition him to then get praise for coming away from the dummy. So my heel word is heel, and turning him away, walking away, making a point of walking a distance, not just turning a circle. I walk some distance because I can also do a little bit of heel work training in the meantime as well. So when we've got our dog working really nicely, going out onto our marked dummies, and he's locking on and he's locking off, the one thing that I've forgotten to mention before was that the last thing I do is to put my hand out at this stage. What I don't want to do is break the dog's lock on that dummy. So the last thing I do is start to bring a hand out that will start to distract him from looking at the dummy. So for quite a long time, all my dogs just get retrieves where there's no hand signal coming in at all. The time I start to go on to doing a hand coming out is when I've got the dog doing the locking on, locking off exercise really well, and then all I'm going to do is put a very visual dummy out, like this. And then I'm going to start to introduce my hand, as long as he's still looking at the dummy. Good boy. And a little bit of praise. Good boy. Virgil. So I'm not going to start to use my hand until that dog is really trained on locking on, because what I see a lot of with handlers who come for lessons, Virgil, good boy, dead, good boy. I see a lot of handlers' dogs ending up fixating on the handler's hand rather than looking through the hand to the point where I want them to go. This is just information. This should just be giving a guideline of where we want them to go. And apologies for the neighbours' dogs. So really simply, for your challenge this week, all I want you to do is go back to basics. Let's have a look at your heel work. So post some videos of your dog on and off lead. So make sure you're doing at least 20 to 30 seconds of heel work. Let's have a look to see how good your positioning is against you. And it's a good refresher for you and your dog, especially at the moment where we can't go out and do masses of training or masses of, we can't do any competing at the moment, so it's a really good time to do all your basics. I have got some work to do with Virgil, as I can see. He needs a little bit of sharpening up on his heel work, so that's what I'm going to be focusing on the next few weeks. And then your next part of your challenge will be to do the locking on, locking off exercise. So where on the first week video we did up to 15 seconds holding a stare, what I want you to do this time is throw your visual target dummy out, walk away a good 20 yards ideally, come back, let the dog refocus and just send it again. Really simple basic things, but things that you should be refreshing your dog on all the time. Dogs don't stay trained and their marking doesn't stay sharp unless you practice it. And you need to practice it on an absolute clear open space like this, where the dummy stays extremely visual at all times. So you can see there that our dummy is always visual. So have a really good week, and I will catch up with you next week.